Hello, space engineers. Welcome to episode 4 of Starting on Pertam. This is the final episode. After this episode, you should know how to get a basic start going. So what we've done so far is we have power hooked up to our survival kit, and we have a collector mine down at the bottom of this pit, which we're going to look at later. What we need to do today is expand our production capabilities so that we can build a few more things, build faster. In order to do that, we're going to need to expand our power generation, and here's why. So if we look at the assembler, the basic assembler that we built, its max required input is 280 kilowatts. If we look at the refinery that we built, its max required input is 330 kilowatts. So when this thing is running, oh, right. So let's look at our turbine. So the wind turbine doesn't always put out 300 kilowatts. It could put out 400 kilowatts. It should be putting out 310 kilowatts. This may be the wind speed has changed on the planet. That is a thing. So that could be what's happening here. But as you can see, this only produces 309 kilowatts at the best of times. And if we're going to run our assembler and our refinery, we're going to need 700 kilowatts. So the first thing that we need to do is to add some more wind turbines and add a battery so that we have a reserve of power if we are going to draw more power than we generate. And we're gonna do that probably because we want to build a large refinery today. First thing is to get some supplies from the assembler at the bottom and build some wind turbines. So let's go down to the bottom. We're going to take the quick route. And let's see what we got here. So that's our refinery. There's the assembler. Okay. So we've got enough stuff in there to make quite a few things. And I still have some steel up there, which might be helpful. So I'm going to make a few steel plates so that we have some building materials. And then we're going to go and lay out some more wind turbines. So I'll see you when I've got that done. Okay, so I'm trying to lay blocks out here, and I'm having a problem. I can't put one under there because I can't attach it to that. And the way to deal with this is to change your block placement mode from free, which is what this is, or gravity align, which is the other one, to local grid align. So it's going to align it to whatever the local grid is. Makes it easy to put the block down. I have laid out some more structure. There are 2 wind turbines up there, so we should be generating about 900 kilowatts of power on average. So I'm going to go up there in order to put them on the build planner. So right click, and I'm going to go down to the bottom of the mine and battery down there, and we're going to right click on that to add that to the build planner as well. And then we're going to see if we have the stuff to build that. Because I really don't need to get at the battery, I'm not going to worry about being able to get at it that much, and I can't get at the assembler, and there is no port on this side of the basic refinery, so I'm just going to slap this battery right here for now. Got to get it highlighted. There we go. Right click, add to the build planner, shift middle mouse button. So yeah, you push shift middle mouse button, it puts everything into production. Now let's go look at production. And it needs more iron ingots than it has. Okay, that's not unexpected. But we have a solution for that, even though it's going to slow things down because we don't... Well, no, we should be able to use the power off of the survival kit battery, so it should be able to run both of these at the same time, even though we don't generate enough power. So let's go back up here into our little diggy hole, and let's do some more digging. Sort of, kind of, sort of working our way towards the iron. That's sort of what we're doing here. We're in the iron now. So that means that we're getting mostly iron out of the ore that's being refined. I mean, that's popping out of here. So let's... I can't get through there. Huh. Okay. Let's go see where all of this is going. Is it all doing what it's supposed to? No. Okay. Alright, and I'm going to take the stone out of my inventory. Just drop it in there. Now, how are we doing? Got iron ore and stone in here, so we should be able to have all the resources that we need. Let's queued up. We filled up the refinery, and some of the stone is still just sitting in the collector because we don't have any place else to put it. So it'd be great if we finished the cargo container right there. We do have 2 metal grids, so maybe we can steal some metal grids from something else on our survival pod. And we will have what we need. And I know we can steal the grids. That's exactly what we're going to do. What about you? You got any? No. But we got 2 in here. Right? There's 2. And I know you have 1. So we're not going to be able to fly this until we repair those thrusters. But we have enough. We have enough to finish this cargo container. Let's clear the build planner so we don't put the wind turbines in a second time. Crouch, right click, right click. We also are going to need the assembler to build that. So let's shift middle mouse button. The power cells are going to be taking up, for the battery, are going to be taking up a lot of space in the assembler and stopping it. That's probably what's happened right now. Let's see. Yeah, the assembler's full. Let's get the components for this out. So now that there's room in the assembler, it's building the remaining power cells. So if I grab those, let's see. Few less. So I'm going to go do some more mining while I wait for those things to build. And I'm mining stone primarily right now because I want to make sure that I have enough nickel and silicon. You get nickel and silicon from stone, and I don't have, I'm not using a straight up nickel or silicon mine at the moment, even though it's nearby. So this is the simplest way for me to just get more of everything. Okay, so this gives us a power reserve. We're not going to be refining and assembling all the time, so when we're not doing that, this is going to build up a charge.
No energy.
No, I don't have any energy, so I'm going to die. I can't find my way out. Okay, well that's pretty embarrassing. Yep. Okay, so we died because we ran out of power and couldn't find our way out because our flashlights went off. That is really embarrassing, but that's what happened. So I'm pretty sure I'm down in this hole somewhere. Yeah, okay. We now have a connection to a cargo container. Okay, we have the cargo container welded up and all of the conveyoring here, so it's all hooked up. We got our battery, and I'm going to get those wind turbines welded up. Okay, so we have 3 wind turbines running now. Let's go check out what's going on with our battery. So, okay, battery. So the white blocks, the blocks that are on your grid. So this battery is the survival pods battery, and it currently has 193 kilowatts of input, and we're going to put it on recharge so that whatever happens with the base's battery and the wind turbines, assemblers, refineries, this guy is not going to lose power. So this guy he was being depleted because he was recharging the other battery, but now he is storing power with this input. So there's an input-output offset. So as long as input's greater than output, you're good to go. The next thing we ought to do is probably move our survival kit down below. That's really what we need to do. So I'm going to go down there and I'm going to dig out some space to hide our survival kit down there so that if the enemies come and kill everything else above ground, we'll still have stuff down here. So where are we going to put that survival kit? Well, we could put it right here, and then we can still access everything from here, and we can put some stairs here. So maybe we'll do that. The assembler can disassemble things, so you can select what you want to disassemble, so you can get resources back from things. And now that we're here, why don't we look at this basic assembler? You can build all kinds of things that survival kit couldn't. So it can build the metal grids that we don't have. It can build medical components, which are useful for a survival kit. But we don't have silver, so we're going to have to use the medical components that come with the survival kit we have already. So we're just going to disassemble that and move it down here. So let's get what we need to place these things. So we're just going to place the survival kit here. That will give us access, although I think I'm going to dig a hole around behind it. And I'm actually going to put some stairs in here, because, you know, that'd be nice. I'm going to dig out behind this a little more. And we're going to disassemble the survival kit above ground. And we're going to bring it down here. Now there are more total components than the one up there, and we don't want to go without a survival kit while we wait to make components, that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is tell the assembler to just build all the components for this, and it won't be able to do that. So it'll just build what it can. Shift middle mouse button. I'm going to take the medical components out of. No, I'm not, because I don't want to break stuff. Do we have any steel plate? The assembler has some. Okay. What do we have here? We have some. Okay. Alright. I want to make sure I don't actually accidentally destroy my survival pod when I cut off survival kit, because it's an integral part of the pod. So I'm going to put some blocks here to tie things together to make sure that we don't lose this cargo container when I cut out what's holding it to the ship. So we're ready to cut this out. The red means that if you were to at build info on, which is that box to the left. That's a mod. And it's telling me the grid will split if removed. That's what the red outline means. So it's warning you that if you grind that block out, the whole thing will fall apart. This one doesn't have that. It did before, but it doesn't now. So we're going to grind it out. I don't need to completely grind it out, so I guess we'll just leave it there for the moment, because I don't need to replace it with anything yet. Just get the rest of the parts we need. Yep, now we got all the parts. So now that we have the survival kit down here, we have broken our connection to the O2 generator on the survival pod, and we need to be able to replenish our hydrogen, so we need an O2 generator. So I'm going to build a large grid O2 generator down here. I'm going to put it on the back of the survival kit here, so I'm going to dig some more of this stone out. Okay, so let's get out the parts for an O2 generator. So let's put it on our build menu. Build planner is what we're going to do. But we need to make sure it's the large grid version. Yeah, we'll put that on the build planner. So you can just middle mouse button and it'll put it on the build planner. So now I'm going to do shift middle mouse button and it's going to put them to production. And now I'm just going to do middle mouse button and it's going to try and withdraw it. Now we're producing stuff. And I think we have enough materials. It says that we don't, but that's because this is just what's in the assembler. If you look at the refinery, it still has plenty of iron in it. Okay. Sounds like we have the parts. Yes, we do. Okay, let's put our O2 generator on here. We are going to put that in line. So now that we have this O2 generator, if we were to put the ice in it from the O2 generator in our survival pod, we'd be able to get our hydrogen refilled from there. So we will do that. Also, we are going to build a large refinery down here, because the large refinery is 20% more efficient in refining ore than this guy. So ultimately, we're not going to want to use this guy anymore, but he's a good intermediate stage. So in order to build the next version, it requires a lot of stuff. So let's put one in our build planner and queue it up. Shift middle mouse button. It says they're all put to production. Now let's go look at production. It needs a lot more iron ingots than we have. It doesn't need that much more nickel or silicon, but it needs a lot more iron, and it needs cobalt. We don't have any cobalt. So we're going to do two things. We're going to go mine some cobalt, and we're just going to dig up a bunch more stuff in this mine. So first we're going to go get the cobalt. I found cobalt earlier. It's right over there. Just going to fly over there real quick. Get a drill out. And it says it's 40 meters down there. So crouch, right click. Here we go. Cobalt will be really nice because cobalt will allow us to at least build the next level of tools. Kind of crazy that the sun is going right in my hole. I just happen to be at a good angle for that. Wow. That is so strange for me to see my shadow while I'm digging a big hole in the ground. Now, the cobalt marker moved around a little bit, and the reason that it does that is because it's always showing you the closest, it's always showing you the center of the largest nearby mass of that ore. And so depending on where you are, that center may change. Also, sometimes the ore is not in a solid patch, and so that can cause that to happen. One of the things you want to try and keep in mind when you're digging one of these holes is you'd like to be able to run back out of it. And I'm I'm having some trouble, but it is possible, so I didn't dig it too steep. See how it moved in front of me? That's now the closest based on my height and everything, like how deep I am and all the rest of that. There's some, okay. Alright, so that's cobalt. So we need that. Left click. Just gonna fill the inventory up with cobalt. Well, maybe we won't fill it up because we got a big inventory, so that might be a lot of cobalt. Oh, and I dug a hole to die in. Wonderful. At least I have some jetpack juice. Alright, what do we got? 4,000 cobalt. That is plenty of cobalt. So we got a load of cobalt from the cobalt deposit. We're going to add this into our refinery, so it will get going on the cobalt, so that we can build the grids that we need to make the large refinery. Okay, so I'm going to need more iron. Maybe nickel, I don't know. So I'm going to get up here to the mine, and I'm going to get in here and do some more digging. Follow the rocks down the hole. Hopefully they've all been going in here. Cobalt takes a long time to refine, so put the easier to refine things in the front. So I'm going to move the iron ore in front of the cobalt, because the refinery will pull things out of the cargo container in the order that it's in this container. So if I move this in front, it's going to pull this before it pulls that. And the reason I wanted to do that is I don't need a lot of this right now, and this takes a really long time to refine. Whereas I do need a lot of that. I'm still using everything that I'm making, everything I'm refining. It's been pretty awesome to just dump all the materials down into this mine and then just let it all do its thing. So I'm just going to put the large refinery in line with this. So I'm just going to dig a bunch more. Okay, so this is sort of a big hole, but the large refinery is kind of a big block. I'm going to get this one, gives you all the options, and I'm going to choose this refinery because it fits in here better. So I'm lining the port up, and I'm making sure that the back is open because you can build things on the back. So if I put that in there, we can almost... Can we get around it? Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to dig a little more out. Okay, so let's look at this block. It requires a lot of components. Putting all that in your inventory normally is a real big pain in the butt. So I'm going to show you a trick about how to not have to deal with that. We're going to use the base to weld that up. So in order to do that, we need a welder. See, it's got a port on the bottom, or on one side anyways. We're going to line that port up with the port on top of the O2 gen. We're going to build this welder. We already grabbed a bunch of parts, so I'm just going to throw them in the welder. So, alt middle mouse button. Yeah. So now we're just going to turn this on, and it should weld up the refinery for us. Except that it's missing something. What is it missing? Oh, construction components. Okay, probably because we built this welder here. Okay, build some more construction components. Okay, so that's all fixed, so I'm just going to cut this off. Now, these are module ports on the back of the refinery. They let you add modules to it that affect how it functions. There are 3 kinds of modules. There is a speed module, which makes the refinery run faster, but it costs more power. There is a yield module, which increases the amount you get back when you refine things, but that requires gold. We don't have that, so we're not going to build that. And there's a power efficiency module, which decreases the amount of power required to run it. We don't have a ton of power, and this thing takes a lot of energy to run. So if we look at it, it takes 560 kilowatts. So some of what we're going to do is try and manage power. So we're going to put some speed modules on because we want it to go faster. And we're going to put the power modules on because we want it to be more efficient. And you can line these up however you want. You don't have to put them all the same way. So I need to be able to get out of here. So I got to do some more drilling. So I'll be back. Okay, so what's the last piece of basic production that we need to build? I mean, we're still manufacturing components for the modules. There's one more thing that we need to build. That is an assembler. Not a basic assembler, an assembler. So let's look at that block. So that block, there's 2 different kinds. This is the kind I'm going to use. It has input ports on the bottom sides. This is right side up. And then it has module ports, so you can add power efficiency to this. You know what I just realized? I've been doing a whole bunch of digging, and what I just realized is I can make better tools. I can make tier 1. Oops, I don't want that one. I can make tier 1 tools, which is awesome. They won't be the best, but they will be better than what we are using. So when you get new tools like that, you need to equip them. So you have to go to the G menu, go to character tools, and you have to drag them down to your hotbar. You can put them anywhere you want, but this is where I put them. So I am in process of making space to put an industrial assembler here, and I want the assembler to I want you to be able to walk down here and see and deal with the assembler. Walk down here and see the refinery. So I need to place the assembler over here because of the way the block is shaped. So what I'm doing right now is piping in the feed for ingots or whatever, just piping it in. So I'm going to put these pipes here, and then we're going to place the assembler right here. I'm going to put some blocks under it because I'm building a floor in here just to make things nice, just to make it nice. You don't have to build a floor, but I want it to be nice, so I'm building a floor. And I just remembered I really can't put floor under here because this thing has speed module attachments. It has module attachments on the bottom and the top. So we're going to put a module down here. This would be hard to place if we weren't able to use the block placement mode, but that's pretty easy. We're going to do the same thing that we did with the refinery. 2 power modules, 2 speed modules. The other speed module is going to go on top, and we can't get up there yet. So. Oh, this is so much better than that other drill already. Just the tier 1 to tier 2 is great. Just use a little bit of hydrogen to get up here. Sometimes it's worth it just to make things a little easier. I could have built some stairs, and maybe we'll do that eventually, but sometimes it's easier to dig the stone out and everything around where you're placing things once you've placed them. Not always, but sometimes. A lot of times you blow things up by trying to dig around them. Or you end up with voxels stuck in your grid that you didn't want there. See, I'm digging voxels out of the middle of the blocks. So
Fuel low.
if a block has voxels in it, sometimes you can get the voxels out. If you want to move the block, if you want to make it a non-static grid, you have to remove the voxels. Otherwise, if you change it to a non-static grid with voxels in it, generally it blows up. You invite the wrath of Clang.
No energy.
Ooh, however, got a survival kit right here, so we are not dying. Oh yeah. Not stuck in a hole in the dark, dying. Which is a good point, you know. We should probably add some lights in here before we're done. That would be really helpful. So, if I'm going to weld all this stuff up, I got quite a lot to do. I got lots of production to accomplish. So, I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna make all this stuff, and I'm gonna come back when it's done. That may require me to mine some more things, but that's okay. If that's the case, I'll just do it. And I'll show you when I've got all this welded up. Okay, so I went and got the ice and O2 bottles, and put them down here so that I can get hydrogen along with the power. And we're producing a lot of things right now, but we have a problem, and that is that while we may have enough iron to produce everything, we don't have enough nickel. So I'm going to see about getting nickel. So I'm going to see about getting nickel, and the idea that I had originally was that I could use the same collector system regardless of whether I'm coming from the iron here or the nickel there. So I'm going to go over to this nickel, and I'm just going to try and drill down to the collector and see what happens. Here we go. Just going to sort of mostly dig straight down-ish to the nickel. Okay, this is nickel. Now, where's our collector? Collector is there. Okay, let's just go. This is a long tunnel. I don't usually dig long tunnels like this. At this point, I know for sure that there's no way I'm going to be able to get the nickel to go into the collector. You know how I know that? I've been going uphill. I can hear my assembler. Okay, so I don't know where this is in relation to my base. I'm just going to make one. Okay, so I'm going to go to the other side and figure out where I am in relation to where I want to be. And then we'll see what's going on. And then while I'm here, I'm just going to drill out a bunch of nickel because this is how we're going to get it apparently. Let's put the nickel in the refinery and let's see where we got to with our hole. It's directly beneath. Man, okay, so that means I gotta go down. So if we're going to try and go down there, I want to do that over here. So I'm going to drill a hole here.
Energy low.
I'm going to get some energy. I'm going to drill a hole to meet up with my other hole. And then I'll have a underground route. So that's the hole to the nickel mine, to the nickel. I would love to put some stairs here. You're done building. We built everything. Okay. Well, let's weld it all up. Okay, so I have been building all of the things using the resources, and I have finished this pipework all the way down, and that means that we can withdraw things from the bottom up here from either of these cargo containers. And what we need is more steel. Let's see, we got any more in here? Yeah. Okay. Let's finish welding. I want to show you what's going on with these blocks that we added the efficiency modules to. So the industrial assembler, each speed module increased the speed by 100%. The two power efficiency modules are increasing the efficiency by about 62% each. And the end result of that is that this machine uses 751 kilowatts instead of 560, but it is 3 times as fast. It is producing 3 times as many components, so there's some trade-offs for using these modules. The same thing is going on with the refinery. Costing a little more power, but it is way faster than it would be otherwise. I'm building a few more batteries, just in case we need to recharge things. And those are going to go right back in here. So I've queued up all the components for that, and we are just waiting for them to assemble. So one of the things I want to do in here is have a little place to sleep. Make it comfy. So I'm going to try and do that as a second level here. Toilet in here. Shower in here. And then this is just going to be, so to seal this up, I'm going to put an armor panel down here. But up on top, I want to have a light. I want to have a light in here. So I'm going to put a light panel as the roof. Light panel as the roof. Armor panel as the floor. Okay. So let's weld this stuff up. Now the problem with my little setup here is that there's no oxygen. It would be great if we had oxygen in there. I mean, this is kind of nice. We need oxygen, so we need an air vent. So either that can be an air vent, or that can be an air vent. Those are our choices. Or we could put one in the ceiling. What's the spectator cam show us?
Energy critical.
So this is... So this is what the base looks like. This is what the mine actually looks like. Like these are the holes that got dug in the voxels. And why I'm doing this is I wanted to see if I could come in and dig around from behind, and dig through here, and put an air vent in there. And I think I can. So we're gonna go with that. You hit F8 to enter the spectator cam. Is that cheating? Maybe. Depends on your opinions about space engineers. I almost think it's cheating. It just depends. In this case, I'm just showing you what's going on, so, you know, like, whatever. Yeah, we want to go up on the next block. Okay.
No energy.
Nice to have a survival kit down here. Okay, now we've opened the side up. Let's put a vent in there. Couple kinds. There's half vents and full vents. We need the full vent. We're going to put the air intake right here. We need a vent to intake air because we don't have any oxygen stored, so we're going to put an air vent right here. This is going to suck in air from the environment and pipe it in here. I need more iron. I almost finished it, and I need more iron. Okay. Okay. Well. So in order for this air vent to draw air into the system, we have to put it on depressurize. That means it's going to suck stuff in. This one the vent full, this one needs to be depressurized off, right. So if I close this door, that'll tell us if this space is airtight or not. It is airtight, okay. So that's an issue. I mean, it's not really a problem, but it's a problem for me because I don't want to see the rocks in my bedroom. Okay, we got our nice little shower, toilet, bed. You can recharge your energy in a bed. And I'm wondering, I don't know if this is true or not, you guys show up for the next tutorial, you will find out because I'll tell you the answer. But I'm wondering if being in a bed keep me from dying once I log off of the server, as long as I'm in a pressurized space. So let's go outside and just see if the lightning destroyed stuff or what. To run, you hold the shift key down. Oh, well, it doesn't look like it blew stuff up. It looks like we're all just chilling out here. Okay. This is the wind turbines all set up. Got some lights on here to identify things at night. Well, it's bright out here in this desert. Thank you for joining me for this tutorial. I hope that it was helpful. And if so, please give me a like and subscribe. And I'd love to see you on my next video. Bye-bye. Alright. It's about 5 or 6 hours of gameplay, I think, total to get here, but we got resources and we got a bed. So best of luck, and don't forget your towel.